So you've got access to Microsoft 365 Copilot or thinking about purchasing it, but you're not really sure what to do with it. You see, Copilot is not like Clippy. It doesn't pop up in Microsoft Word or Excel and magically start helping. And even though the Copilot is put in there, it's not always obvious what you should ask or how it can actually help you in your day-to-day work. And that's exactly why I've made this tutorial. So whether you're completely new to Copilot or had it for a while but want to start getting more out of it, I'm going to show you 5 practical ways to use Copilot in Microsoft 365 to get immediate value from it across Outlook, Teams, Word, Planner, and even the new Copilot chat experiences. These are real-world examples you can take straight back to your own role, whether you're a project manager, a business leader, part of a team, or just trying to save time and work smarter every day. And before we dive in, just a quick one. Over 90% of people who watch our videos aren't subscribed. So if you find this tutorial helpful, why not hit the subscribe button, tap the bell icon, because we're sharing brand new content like this every single week to help you become more confident and productive in Microsoft 365. So let's get started and show you how Copilot can make Outlook a whole lot smarter. So you've joined me in Microsoft Outlook, and we have an email here from one of my project team members having some problems on scheduling. There's a lot of detail on this email, as we can see here. What I need to do is get a quick summary of all of those key points. And with Copilot, we can very quickly click on Summary by Copilot. And in real time, it now has analysed and summarised this email thread. This could be helpful prior to a meeting or if you're pretty busy during the day. But what about going a step further? From what we've got here, let's ask Copilot if these mitigations that my project team put forward have any associated risks. So let's click on Ask Copilot to open the Copilot sidebar and give Copilot a question around that strategy. We can see on the right hand side, given a Copilot a question of from this email, what's the risk of the mitigations not working? Copilot has further analysed the email, looked at all of the potential risks that could come from the proposed mitigations and outlined them around the risks themselves. It even provides a handy summary that while the mitigations seem promising, there are several dependencies and potential risks that need to be carefully managed to ensure the project stays on track. So we can see how Copilot can not only summarise an email, but also you can analyse an email and any plans put forward by your project team to further go into detail, and even ask Copilot for some suggestions to help out further. But also, I'm pretty busy all day, but what I want to do is go back to my project team and agree these mitigations. We can do that with the help of Copilot. By clicking on the reply button inside of Outlook, you'll now have a Copilot option in the email itself. And as we can see, Copilot comes up with some suggested responses. Appreciate the update, keep me posted, or a good contingency plan. I could also go further or even provide my own message outline, but I'm pretty busy, so I'm going to go ahead with a good contingency plan. And in seconds, Copilot drafts this email for us. We can see here it's talking around a solid contingency plan and going back to our project team to move forward. So it's generated a professional email in seconds that we can very quickly just hit the send button on and send to my colleague. So an email that would have taken me minutes has taken seconds, as well as analysing and summarising emails in my own inbox. And working with Copilot, we can also have automatic meeting notes captured and all the important action items. Let's do that by joining my Microsoft Teams meeting just like normal. And inside of the meeting, whether your colleagues are present or still to join, to enable transcription, go ahead, select the 3-dot more menu, select record and transcribe and start transcription. Select the language of the meeting itself, and as simple as that, your meeting discussion points now being transcribed, allowing Copilot to provide you with a meeting recap later on. When you're done in your meeting, just go ahead and end the meeting, ensuring the transcript has now ended. And then in a few minutes, we'll see this meeting invite updated, including a meeting recap. As you'll see, the meeting invite inside of Outlook is now updated. As we use Copilot transcription, we can see here that it shows a meeting recap. This is a summary of all of the outputs from the meeting itself. It's very handy if you couldn't join the meeting to get up to speed quickly. But I know what you may be thinking, this here isn't so detailed. Could we go a step further and ask Copilot to look at the further details of the meeting, or ask any questions about what happened during that meeting, and we absolutely can. By selecting the View Recap button, we'll be sent into Microsoft Teams, and here it now opens the AI summary of all of those meeting notes taken within the meeting itself. As we can see here, the tariffs were discussed around our project, around a potential 20% increase in steel costs, but also we agreed some mitigations to deal with these tariff increases. But how about we ask Copilot to provide further understanding about what happened around these mitigations? And we can do that by clicking on the Copilot button on the right hand side of your Microsoft Teams window, and now just give it a question or a prompt to also find out more about the meeting itself. We can see on the right hand side, I've asked Copilot to outline what the tariff increases are and also where they are from. You can see here Copilot's analysed the meeting details and provided the information between the US and China having tariffs applied, and also the prediction increases by 20%. It doesn't know the detail about where the exact origins because they were not discussed in the meeting. But as you can see, that means now that if it's an hour or even a half an hour meeting, you can dig a little bit deeper with Copilot and ask it to pick up on key events or discussions that are personal and interesting to you. In addition, you can even click on the transcript and download a copy in Microsoft Word, so you can add into your document management system or your Microsoft Teams file storage area so you can refer back to later if your colleagues need to know what was discussed in your meeting. And on our projects, we often need to provide project status updates to our stakeholders. The problem though is your meetings are all very much distributed over different meetings. You have emails discussing different project risks and issues, and you want to bring it all together in one single document, and that can be very time consuming. What if we could have Copilot build a project status update, taking those information sources from your emails and meetings and write it all up for you, which you could then refine? It doesn't sound possible, right? But it certainly is with Copilot, and I'm going to show you how. By going up inside the Microsoft Word and clicking on describe what you'd like to write, you can now define your prompt. I'm going to give Copilot a prompt to write up a project status summary, and then we're going to give it information from my meetings and emails to be able to come up with the best possible project status update. With our prompt now added into Microsoft Word, we now need to give it the reference points from our emails and also meetings. To do that, I'm going to click on the / key. You can now search through files, meetings and emails. As an example, let's go ahead and select one of the meetings we had around tariffs. We also had an email relating to the project itself having some issues with some of our procurement. So we're going to go ahead and add that into our project status update, and a further email outlining the actions taken on the supplier options. Adding these 3 information sources taken from the meeting and also my own personal inbox, we can send it into Copilot to allow it to begin building our project status update, and then we can refine it further later. And within a few seconds, Copilot's now generated our project status update. We can make changes to it, making it more formal or changing the language, but I'm quite happy with this information here. So what we can easily see is that Copilot's taken a summary from all those different information sources. It's noted that the week itself is in April the 14th, the Project Green Space Financials meeting around tariffs and what action items were agreed with Matthew. It's taken details from our email threads and brought them all together in a handy summary and outlining what was discussed. And then also the final option that we took around the supplier options. This now could be shared with my project team or added into our project storage area, outlining all the key discussions and the meetings we had during this week. But of course, that's where you can also add value. Why not go into this document now and add some further information or wording that would also help and support your team further? But taking emails and meetings, bringing them together in one single document is now possible with the help of Copilot. Just before we jump into the next scenario, if you're finding this tutorial helpful so far, this is really just the beginning about what Microsoft Copilot can do for you. This tutorial is all about helping you get started, but if you're ready to take things further, we can help you unlock the full power of Microsoft Copilot for our on-demand masterclass, which is linked below. It's a practical, easy to follow course that covers everything from writing smarter emails, generating better documents, building dashboards, using Copilot inside of Teams for your meetings, and even how to work with your own business data securely using Copilot. Or if you're looking to bring Copilot into your business and require training, we also offer live training sessions and consultancy to help you and your team transform how you work with Microsoft 365 Copilot. So let's now get back to the next Copilot scenario and show you how to build a complete project plan in seconds with the help of Copilot and Planner. And Copilot can also help with its AI capabilities in Microsoft Planner. Here I've opened Microsoft Planner inside of Microsoft Teams, and I want to create a new project plan to be working on our grand opening for Project Greenspace. I need tasks created in a project plan I can share with my peers, and I can have AI help by creating the plan for us. To do that, I'm going to go and select New Plan and then choose an option to plan with Project Manager. Left clicking this option here, we can now give your plan a name and we can also attach it to a Microsoft team or a group. I'll very simply add my name in and attach this to Project Greenspace, which is a Microsoft team where my team also reside. With that now done, I'll go ahead and click on Create. And we'll now have a new plan created for us that is going to be shared with my team members. But this new AI experience allows us now to give it a prompt to begin to create some tasks and work to easily get started on our project. And after a few seconds, we're now taken into our new plan. But as you can see, there are no tasks assigned to anyone and there are no tasks inside of the plan. We're going into the Project Manager tab. I've given it a prompt to create a new project plan for the Greenspace grand opening, adding further details. In addition, I can click on Add Files for better results, and I could also give it additional files such as Word, Excel or PowerPoint files to improve the overall experience when we create our tasks inside of this plan. And within a few minutes, Project Manager has now generated some tasks for us. But we can go a step further with the help of AI. How about it helps with getting this actually completed or at least pushed in the right direction for us? As an example, there's a task here to develop a detailed event planning and schedule for the Greenspace grand opening. By clicking on the Assign To button, we can select Project Manager and it will now be sent into the Project Manager queue, being marked as in progress. Project Manager will now begin to work on this task for us and provide us outputs to begin working on it further. So after a few minutes, we'll go and check out what Project Manager has generated for us. And Project Manager has now completed this task for us. By left clicking onto the task itself, we'll see here a section dedicated to Project Manager in Planner. And it confirms it's developed a detailed event planning logistics schedule for the Greenspace grand opening, outlining tasks and milestones for the next 8 to 10 weeks leading up to the event. We can see this information here. It's now editable in a Microsoft Loop page, allowing you to make changes to it or refine the outputs. But now we have a plan to begin working towards and share with my team. And it's taken information from the prompt that we shared with our Project Manager and the associated files that we shared earlier on. So Project Manager didn't only just create the tasks, but even helped some of the outputs to get our project team moving forward. And finally, for our project, we're building in London, and there's a London plan for 2021. It's 542 pages and includes lots and lots of detail about how we should approach the development inside of London. The problem is, of course, I don't have time to read through 500 pages to see how it's going to be associated to the content that we have for our own project. That's where Microsoft Copilot Chat can really help us out. Head into Microsoft Teams and then click on the Copilot button. What you can now do is bring in the PDF file and ask questions to have Copilot summarize and understand a 500-page plus PDF, and then with my question, refine the result and give me some information to help me move forward with, without reading the full 500 pages. Let's try that out here. So what we firstly need to do is give Copilot the prompt. I'm going to go ahead and paste in a prompt here, which is referencing the plan and also the information I need to find out and summarize from the PDF. Once we've done that, we'll need to give Copilot access to the PDF itself. It's currently stored on my own computer. So I'm going to select Add Content and then select this option here to upload from my own device. And now I've attached the London Plan 2021 in the PDF format. I'll now wait for it to upload, shown here at the bottom of the screen. This will also upload in your own OneDrive for Business, so it will be stored in your business account and ensure it's stored securely and in compliance with your own data protections. Now, given this Copilot prompt, we can now see that Copilot begins combing through the 500-page PDF. It's beginning to learn and understand the PDF. And my own prompt is shown here at the top, which Copilot will also begin to work through. In a few short minutes, we'll get an output from Copilot. And within a minute, Copilot's now came back and looked through all the relevant sections of Project Greenspace, identifying the chapters and the information that all have relevance to the project itself, even coming out with suggested questions for the planning of the local authority around what we're going to be working with Project Greenspace. We can now dive deeper into chapters or sections and ask questions further that relates to our project, just like we would with other tools like ChatGPT. In addition, Copilot here now also provides additional follow-up questions to help you also understand the topic further. Let's go and provide more details on the policy D8 held within the PDF itself. Copilot again checks its knowledge and the PDF and begins to summarise the result to drive into it a little bit further. And we can see within a minute, Copilot's now came back, confirming the objective of this policy D8, the key points relating to the policy, and also in addition, we can ask further questions again. So you can see now that Copilot, with the help of a PDF file or other information, you can begin problem solving on your projects, work out what needs to happen next, or just have Copilot help you out with a general knowledge perspective. Copilot Chat is super powerful, just like other tools like ChatGPT, but you now have access to it in the workplace with Microsoft 365 Copilot. So there you go. Certainly don't overlook Copilot Chat when it comes to working on projects and also your wider work. And there we go, 5 practical, real-world ways to get started using Microsoft 365 Copilot today. We've looked at how to summarise your emails, create project updates, catch up on meetings, build plans, and even solve bigger challenges using Copilot, or through the lens of a real project, not just a product demo. These are exactly the kinds of tasks every day where Copilot can start to transform the way that you work, helping you save time, stay focused, and get more done about all of that stress. And if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget that over 90% of people who watch these videos aren't subscribed, so don't be part of that 90%. Hit the subscribe button for more content like this every single week, and hit that like button to let me know that this video has helped you out. So, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.